Dreams in the Cornland. In the heart of the American Midwest, amidst Iowa's vast cornfields, lived Peter Smith, a 17-year-old with extraordinary basketball talent. The Smith family was known around the region for their struggle to maintain a small farm, but also for Peter's brilliance on the courts. Despite the tough life, with his parents working tirelessly and his siblings leaving one after another in search of new opportunities, Peter harbored a secret dream: to go to college and become a professional basketball player. Peter's routine was split between helping on the farm and honing his basketball skills. His mother, a resilient woman, worked double time to compensate for her husband's limitations, whose weakened heart prevented him from exerting himself. The Smith family, though united, faced constant financial difficulties, making Peter's dream seem distant, almost unreachable. If you're getting hooked on Peter's journey, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to not miss out on the exciting and inspiring moments of this story. Peter's life changed during a basketball tournament at his school. His exceptional performance caught the eye of a scout, who offered him a scholarship to a renowned university. The news brought a mix of joy and uncertainty to the Smith family. On one hand, it was the opportunity Peter had always dreamed of. On the other, his departure would mean one less member to help on the already struggling farm. Despite his dream being within reach, Peter was tormented. His father's health was deteriorating, and the farm's mortgage was about to come due. On a starry night, after a long conversation with his mother, Peter made the tough decision to decline the scholarship and stay on the farm. Sacrificing his dream seemed the only way to keep his family together and the farm running. The days that followed were the toughest of Peter's life. While working on the farm, his mind often wandered to what might have been. His mother, seeing her son's discouragement, constantly encouraged him, reminding him that family is the most precious thing one can have. They faced storms, droughts, and the constant threat of losing their home together. The situation began to change when the local community, aware of the Smiths' situation and Peter's sacrifice, united to help. They organized events to raise funds, not just for the farm, but also for Peter's father's medical treatment. This wave of solidarity reignited hope in the Smith family. After a period of tough decisions and unexpected challenges, Peter Smith received a second chance. A nearby university, impressed with his story and basketball ability, offered him a full scholarship. With his father recovering and the farm stabilized, Peter saw the opportunity to fulfill his dream without abandoning his family. He accepted the offer, embarking on a new journey that promised to transform his life. Arriving at the university, Peter felt like a fish out of water. Campus life was radically different from the routine of the farm. He found himself surrounded by students from different places with stories and dreams different from his own. Initially, Peter struggled to adapt to this new world, but his determination and humility soon won the respect of his peers. He found comfort and familiarity on the university's basketball courts, where his natural ability began to shine. Peter's talent did not go unnoticed by the university basketball team's coaches. He was quickly selected for the team, starting as a reserve player. The transition wasn't easy. The level of competition was much higher than he was used to. Peter committed to rigorous training, improving his skills and increasing his physical endurance. His work ethic, coupled with his natural talent, soon earned him a starting position on the team. Peter's acceptance among his teammates and coaches wasn't immediate. His humble origins and being a newcomer at the university initially put him at a disadvantage. However, his persistence, coupled with an impressive performance on the courts, gradually earned everyone's admiration. Peter became known not only for his athletic abilities but also for his leadership and team spirit. He spent extra hours on the court, working on his weaknesses and studying game strategies. Over time, Peter became a star on the university basketball team. He led the team to many important victories, gaining recognition across the university league. Off the court, he excelled academically, successfully balancing his athletic and academic responsibilities. Peter became a symbol of perseverance and dedication, inspiring not only his teammates but also the entire university community. Peter Smith's journey at the university was marked not only by achievements but also by deep personal challenges. A month before his graduation, a tragedy shook his life. His mother, the backbone of the Smith family, passed away unexpectedly. This devastating loss left Peter in a state of deep mourning and confusion. He faced a painful crossroads. Should he return home and care for his aging father, now alone on the farm, or complete his graduation and pursue the basketball career he had fought so hard to build? In the days that followed, Peter wrestled with this decision. His mother had always been his biggest supporter, encouraging him to follow his dreams even in the toughest moments. She believed in his potential, not just as an athlete, but as a person. Amid the pain, his mother's words echoed in his mind, reminding him of the resilience and hope she had instilled in him from a young age. After many sleepless nights and long conversations with his father, Peter made the difficult decision to stay at the university and complete his graduation. His father, though deeply saddened, insisted that he not give up on his dreams. "Your mother would have wanted this," he said with tears in his eyes. This decision was not easy. Every day Peter spent away from home, he felt the weight of his absence on the farm and the loss of his mother. Peter's graduation was bittersweet. While his peers celebrated, his heart was heavy with the loss of his mother. However, he knew that each step he took on stage, receiving his diploma, was a tribute to the woman who had sacrificed so much for him. He dedicated his achievement to her, acknowledging that without her unwavering love and support, none of it would have been possible. After graduation, Peter returned home, determined to care for his father and the farm. But he didn't leave basketball behind. With the help of his community, Peter organized basketball clinics for young people in the region, sharing his passion and knowledge of the game. He also began exploring coaching opportunities, keeping his connection to basketball alive. Peter Smith took on the role of basketball coach at the local school, the same one where he had shone as a player years before. His return was celebrated by the community, who saw in him not just a former basketball star, but a symbol of perseverance and dedication. Peter was determined to provide the youth of his hometown with the opportunities he had fought so hard to achieve. During a routine training session, Peter encountered Lucas, a boy with a story surprisingly similar to his own. Lucas, the son of a local farmer, possessed a natural talent for basketball, surpassing even what Peter had shown in his youth. However, like Peter, Lucas faced his own challenges, balancing the responsibilities of farm life with his passion for basketball. Peter saw in Lucas not just a reflection of his past, but extraordinary potential waiting to be shaped. He committed to mentoring Lucas, sharing the lessons he had learned both on and off the courts. Under Peter's guidance, Lucas began to flourish as a player. Peter didn't limit himself to teaching game techniques and strategies. He also instilled in Lucas the values of hard work, resilience, and humility. The training sessions between them became fertile ground for Lucas's personal and athletic growth. As Lucas developed, Peter realized he was in the presence of a talent that could surpass everything he had imagined for himself. He saw Lucas not just as a promising player, but as a young man capable of uniting and inspiring the community, just as he had done years before. Lucas quickly became a star on the school team, leading them to victories they hadn't seen in years. His basketball ability began to attract the attention of university scouts and even professional teams. However, despite his growing fame, Lucas remained humble and focused, thanks to Peter's teachings. The award ceremony for the local school's basketball team wasn't just a milestone for Lucas, but also for Peter Smith. As Lucas thanked Peter for his guidance and support, exciting news emerged. Lucas had been accepted into a prestigious university with a full scholarship to play basketball. This moment was the culmination of Peter's efforts, who had not only trained an exceptional player, but also helped a young man achieve his dreams, just as he had dreamed years ago. The entire town buzzed with Lucas's success. Peter, seeing his protege move forward, felt a wave of emotion and fulfillment. He had been more than a coach. He had become a mentor, a guide, and a role model. The basketball program he had developed at the school had become a vehicle for change, helping hundreds of young people progress not just on the courts, but in their lives as well. Years later, the story of Peter Smith and Lucas continued to inspire the town. The Smith farm, once on the brink of collapse, now prospered, symbolizing the resilience and strength of the community. Peter, no longer actively coaching, remained a respected and admired figure. He watched with pride as Lucas, now a successful university basketball player, excelled on national courts. Peter's influence in the town extended beyond basketball. The sports program he initiated expanded to include other sports, each reflecting the same spirit of dedication, teamwork, and overcoming challenges. Program alumni frequently returned, sharing their success stories and how the lessons learned on the courts helped them in different aspects of life. On a special night, the community gathered to honor Peter. They dedicated the school's basketball court in his name, recognizing his immense impact. Tears sparkled in Peter's eyes as he looked around, seeing familiar and new faces, all united by the sport and the values he had instilled in them. In the stillness of a starry night in Iowa, Peter Smith found himself sitting alone in the empty stands of the court that now bore his name. The cool night air carried with it memories of a life filled with crucial decisions, overcome challenges, and dreams realized. In this moment of reflection, his thoughts wandered to the what if. What if he had accepted that initial scholarship and followed his dream of becoming a professional basketball player? He imagined a life in the spotlight, filled with wealth and fame. He saw himself playing in packed arenas with fans shouting his name. He pictured the magazine covers, lucrative contracts, and a life of luxury. For a moment, Peter allowed himself to dive into this alternate world, a world that could have been his. But, as the night breeze whispered through the leaves, a sense of gratitude enveloped him. He realized that although this imagined life had its own glitz and glamour, it lacked something essential that he found in his current reality, a deep sense of fulfillment and purpose. Peter had chosen a different path, one that led him back to his community, where he could make a real difference in the lives of countless young people. Don't forget to hit the bell. Peter's story reminds us that life's most significant choices often lead us down unexpected paths. Hit the bell to get notified about more stories like this. On the court that now carried his name, he saw future generations playing, laughing, and learning life's lessons through sports. Each child he coached, each life he touched, reflected a part of his journey and his choices. He had not only shaped talented basketball players, but also resilient and compassionate young people, ready to face their own challenges. Peter's true wealth wasn't measured in dollars or contracts. It lay in shared laughter, moments of overcoming, and the success stories of those he had mentored. Fame and money were fleeting, but the legacy he was building in his community would be lasting and truly significant. With a serene smile, Peter stood up from the stands. He looked up at the starry sky and gave thanks, not for what he had lost, but for everything he had gained and given back. The richness of his life wasn't in fame or personal success, but in the satisfaction of knowing that he had played a crucial role in realizing the dreams of hundreds of young people and improving the life of his community. On that peaceful night, under the vast Iowa sky, Peter Smith realized that his greatest triumph wasn't what he might have been, but what he had truly become, a true champion of life. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you won't miss out on our daily exciting content. Every day there's something new and thrilling waiting for you right here. So, stay tuned and we'll see you in the next video.